Welcome. Top Notch. Raid Shadow Legends.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Raid Shadow Legends Top Notch. Gonna give you guys a few tips and tricks that I know myself. I don't know if you guys know about it, but hey, we're gonna get into it. If you're new to the channel, which you probably are because the channel is new itself, please click a like and subscribe. Help me out here, get my channel off the ground. This is the first video, so I greatly appreciate it. I will eventually have a download link for people to download once I get that swinging. But for now, I'm just here for the good old tips and tricks for everybody. So we're gonna start here from our opening screen, and obviously with Plarium trying to sell us something. So as you can see, I am current level 94, working my way to level 95 and ultimately 100. It's been a long journey. Had the account for quite a while. I am on my, I don't know, this is my second day past 271, so I guess I'm on my 274th day. Well, coming up to my 274th day. Haven't had the account that long. Just got Visix. That's pretty cool. Don't have any books in her yet, but she'll get there. I heard a thing where people were saying that like a lot of the free champions in the game are like trash. I don't think so. I think they're pretty cool. I mean, Mithrala's a free champion. Lydia's a free champion. Visix is a free champion. So even Yakro the Scourge, he's pretty free, and he's free and he's pretty cool. But back to the tips. So the first tip I want to share with you is about champion training. Being that I'm new to this, I'm gonna start off from the basics with people, and I'm gonna just work my way up. So I would say from a beginner standpoint, you know, if you're new to Raid Shadow Legends, I'm not sure what you would consider my account. Some people would base that off of their Great Hall. I don't know, but we're gonna start with discussing a few champion training. So, tip I have here for you to give you an example to make you a little bit more efficient if you don't know when it comes to champion training. Save you energy and utilize your 1-star champions. I don't know about you, but I know that 1-star champions are a bit of a headache, and you do tend to get a whole lot of them when you open mystery shards. For me personally, they take, in the beginning, they would take up so much space that I wouldn't even bother to open my mystery shards unless I really needed to. As you can see, I am not all that great at hoarding. I'm currently trying to get into the phase of hoarding, but this is perfect right here. I opened up 10 mystery shards, got 10 1-star champions. Usually a lot of people, this space consuming, you know, gets on their nerves, but I like this because I have a strategy when it comes to my 1-star champions. Once I get my 1-star champions, I take them into the tavern and I use Brews to upgrade them. As you can see, all of my, well, the only 1-star champions I have are 9-star, are at level 9. That's due to putting one brew of the matching affinity into each champion. If you put the wrong brew into a champion, basically if you take a magic champion and put a force brew inside them, it's going to only bring it up to level 7. And therefore that leaves it very unequal. You could put another brew in, or you could train it. And even training, even if you don't use 2 times the battle super raid, it still doesn't equal out properly to train a 1-star champion. I mean, unless you're going to do like normal mode training, and at that point that's just a waste of energy. But anyway, we're going to move these to the collection, and what we want to do here is go into the tavern, go to brew upgrade, go to our 1-star, and our champions that are 1-star with no upgrades, for instance, are magic infinity. You put 1 brew into each of those, they bring them up to 9 stars. Force affinity, and so on. You get the gist. So once you do that, then you bring them over to your guardian ring. You fill your slots. Once you fill your slots, it's going to take approximately 2 hours, I believe. 2 hours to upgrade them to level 10. Reason why I'm going over this and giving you guys this tip is because everything works with each other. Sorry about that. Everything works with each other. As you all know, you have your clan quests weekly that come up. I don't know if your clan has special rules or regulations to how many that you're allowed within a certain amount of time, but there are definitely, we can all agree, clan quests that that are not that favorable, that some people hardly ever pick, or anybody in your clan hardly picks every week. One of those for me that I noticed, and I've been in multiple clans, is a elite quest with the task of upgrade 100 uncommon champions to rank 3. Here's the tip. Those 1-star champions that you upgraded, they give you your 2-star food champions in order to take these 2-star uncommon champions to rank 3 without wasting or using any uncommon rank 2 champions to upgrade them. If you get what I'm saying. Because I think we can all agree, upgrading 100 champions no matter what to whatever rank can be very time consuming and a little difficult. It doesn't make it any better if you're working against yourself using those same level champions to upgrade the champions themselves. So this is the whole reason why I figured out an easier way to utilize my 1-star champions in order to maximize the benefits of grabbing this quest every week that I've noticed that nobody grabs, thus assuring me 350 coins from my clan quest every week, at least if nobody grabs it, which in my situation, I've yet to see anybody really grab that quest. I remember when I first grabbed that quest and I didn't accomplish it. It was a headache, and it made me determined in order to grab it and make sure that I accomplish it every week. Thus, me leading to basically figuring out how to utilize my 1-star champions. All right, guys. So tip two, two. I guess as long as I have the remote in my hand, I can't. Okay, we'll put those down. All right, guys. So tip two. So right here, I believe. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tip two. So another thing I want to go over with everybody. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tip two. So another thing I want to go over with everybody is champion training. Now, I know that we're late into champion training right now, but I still want to discuss something that, at least for me personally, I haven't heard anybody talk about in this game. So, if you go to your regular dungeons, sorry, I'm talking about champion training as I'm saying dungeons. But anyway, you go to your campaign mode where you're usually going to train. Sorry about that. A little bit of lag there. And when it comes to training your champions, using your energy, we obviously know that we're trying to get the most efficiency out of our energy, the max efficiency. So one tip I want to share with you guys today is when it comes to training your champion, you have your lead slot, as we all know, and then you have your food champions. You can only put 3 champions in your food slot, right? So common sense would tell you that you add your champions in increments of 3 and you cap at the max 3 level. If you can only add 20 champions, then that means you stop at 18. Never add 20 champions in queue, at least if you're using Raid Shadows Legends in-game multi-battle mode. You do have outsourced programs like RSL Helper, which that's unlimited. This doesn't apply for RSL Helper. This is for in-game. So when you're doing your in-game, you select your original 3. Then when you do your multi-battle, you want to go to your edit queue, and you only want to select 18 from here. It makes sense to only select 18, therefore you're not wasting any energy or space anywhere. Also, make sure that all 18 of your champions are at the same level. Select 18 like that, just like that. That's not 18 including, well, that's 18 including the other ones, but that's not 18 altogether, including the other 3. You make sure your screen says 18 from here, and you will level out your champions evenly, not wasting any energy. So that was another tip I wanted to share with you guys. Also, I think we all know that it makes no sense to level up 1-star champions through training, even if you're using single mode, unless you're doing them through normal, and at that point, it's a waste of energy. So that's another tip that I wanted to give to beginners starting their game in Raid Shadow Legends. To be honest with you, I'm not sure if a lot of advanced game players know that tip. Maybe it'll help somebody. who has been playing for a decent amount of time. I don't know. But yeah, that's something that helped me get a long way. So we covered that. We covered the relics. We covered our brew upgrading for our slots. Also, another tip, I try not to spin my mystery shards unless I am in the middle of a training. So sometimes when it comes to upgrading, you can fall short of champions. I I don't always get 2-star champions, but I definitely make sure that I collect my mystery shards and my 1-star champions from the market. I feel like those are imperative, especially for the system that I got down. I don't know if you guys, are interested in what I suggested as far as the 1-star champions. I would say give it a go. It's definitely beneficial. It's definitely, saves you time and helps you out. It speeds up the rapidness of your upgrades for your champions. I'm gonna show you guys my roster real quick. And I've been with the game for a little while, but I definitely am at a point where I can literally upgrade a champion whenever I want, and I don't really worry about um, picking which ones. But that also comes with being smart about your champions in early game. You know what I mean? Making sure that you do your research and learn to upgrade the right champions that you need for specific roles, not just because you got a new shiny champion. Not every legendary champion is going to be the best champion to upgrade to take to level 60. Sometimes, epic champions and even rare champions are what's needed for wherever you are in the progress of the game. So try to keep that in mind because in the long run, that's going to help you save time, save energy, save resources so you could get to a point where you have all your key champions at level 60 to do all the things you need them to do. And even though that may not be a lot of champions, it gets the job done, thus leaving you space. And I got a little bit of level 50 syndrome or whatever, but to be honest with you, in my opinion, any champions that's in my roster that's not level 60, I I don't need. It's either they're not effective in my account, or I have a champion that can do what they do but better. So um, I try to keep my roster pretty tight, specifically, strictly to the champions that I need. And I actually use that same type of method almost when it comes to even summons. We all get a little bit of summon fever, and we spend summons we spend what do you call them, shards unnecessarily. But one thing that I got myself into the practice of doing is only opening shards and pulling one, obviously, during a 2x event or some type of event like that, but two, pulling during the time when it's a champion that I need. So if that makes any sense to you, faction wars. I keep going on faction wars because that's one of the focuses that I want to get to, because that's something that beginning players try to progress through and may need a little bit of help with. So if you're struggling in faction wars, another thing to keep in mind when you're progressing through faction wars, and say you don't have that reviver champion, or say you don't have whatever other champion that you need, try to prioritize pulling your shards based on the champion you need. So let's say you're working on Faction Wars Barbarian Crypt, and you have a whole bunch of attack champions, Barbarian champions, but you don't have a Reviver champion. I suggest when it comes to pulling champions. You look at your slots when it gives you these slots right here for progressive chance and say, let's say that this champion right here is a Barbarian Reviver champion. As long as it meets the criteria that you want and that you're comfortable with, maybe you want to make sure that that champion is also a legendary champion and has a specific skill. I would say, especially as long as it's during a 2x event at least, progressive chance, don't really pull them. They're not really helpful. But at least during the 2x event, try to pull those champions. That's going to help your account, because at the end of the day, the odds of you getting that champion is slim a lot of times. But if you do get the champion, it's going to help your account more than just receiving a legendary champion. For whatever reason, that legendary champion might be good. It's also going to help your account by receiving that legendary champion that's going to progress you in faction wars. So yeah. Okay, next tip that I want to go over with you guys in here. When you're going through faction wars, I don't know if you guys noticed in my intro, I had completed Demon Spawn Faction Wars level 21 with a Reviver champion and some iffy champions. I believe one was level 50, one was level 14, 6-star champions, but epics, definitely not what you would think is quality to complete that level. My key to that was Golden Elixir Relic. If you go into the relics here, excuse me, it's not relics. You go into your relics here, and my relic collection is trash, so please never mind it. And you want to find your Golden Elixir. When you're going through faction wars, at least starting off, my suggestion to beginning players, if you could get your hands on some golden elixirs in your forge and equip them on your champions. What you want to do is, for faction wars, you want to have at least one reviving champion that's going to help carry your team and power them through. And then you want to try to have, as the rounds go further, you're going to need more CC champions. But as you're progressing through, whatever your attack or defense champions, you want to try to put your golden elixirs on each of them. Because in order to get Lydia and complete faction wars, you have to complete each round and collect 3 stars for each of them by making sure your team survives completely. No one dies. Now, the trick to that is, if you have a reviver, they can die. As long as your reviver revives them before the end of the round, it still counts. So that's why I try to make my reviver as fast as possible with as much HP as possible. So when they do their heals, they heal with a bunch of HP. They revive my champion as soon as possible. And the golden elixir itself, whenever a champion health drops below 50%, the wearer is instantly healed by 10%. If you could get your golden elixir up to 15 and add this on to your champions, as shown in my intro clips, it can make your journey through faction wars a lot easier, trust me. If you have any questions, leave some comments below. I'll try to answer, help you guys out, give you some more advice, in-depth tips and tricks. But yeah, definitely something utilizable for new players and even for mid-game players. I wouldn't say I'm an in-game player, but I'm definitely a mid-game player, and I just got my Lydia, and this tip definitely helped me. So that's our tip on Faction Wars. And we are currently in events right now. Gear enhancement, gear hunters, and summer rush. Guys, remember today, before I don't know where you are in the world, but especially if you finish your fire night and you're waiting for a spider tournament to come up, hold off from doing any more training or any more gear hunting until gear hunters open up, so you can farm your spiders then and double dip. I think we all know that, but that's just another tip there. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope that you liked it. If you have any comments, please drop a comment below. Like and subscribe to the channel. Help me grow. This is the first video. Do hope to show you guys more and we can grow together. Thanks for coming by, and give you guys a view of the area. Definitely gonna change up the scenery now and then, every now and then. Just, have a better atmosphere around here. But until then, see you later. Top notch, Raid Shadow Legends.